Barry Ajayi, and I'm with you now on channel 107.1 on people, places, and events. This is My City Speaks to Me, special edition from Kainai Nation, the Blood Tribe, for the celebration of an indigenous festival that brings over 1,000 dancers from across Canada and part of the United States for this celebration. It's an honor for me to be invited here and with my regalia here to celebrate this auspicious occasion. Today, I'm going to bring you to your view pleasure, dances from across, the nations, and as well, listen to a story from an elder who's been through resilience course and telling the story of how he's been healed and the story of forgiveness. It's going to be an awesome time. Like I did on this show, drum of a muscle, stretch. Let's have a wonderful time. Right back.
My father used to do really good feather work, So right now, a lot of the feathers I built were because of my father, And my uncles, they supported me, or sometimes even bribed me to dance, Because as a young man, I wanted to be with the other young kids, But culture was very important to my family, and what you see standing before you is the good intention of my family. And being raised by grandparents, Kipidapuka, was that the grandparents wanted to raise me. When my parents left to go work, they left me with grandparents. So it's from that cultural upbringing that I'm able to really, now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm giving back a lot of what 60 years today is what we're celebrating. After that, being raised by the grandparents, I was kind of forced. My brother is here. We were kind of forced into going to residential school, and geez, we didn't want to go, Didn't want to go, but we were forced to go to residential school. Didn't like it, and it was very oppressive. There was a lot of ugly things that happened there. So today, I'm healing from all of that. And I see a counselor a couple times a month because I want to have peace in my life, And peace in my life means that you have to forgive, And so I have a lot of forgiveness today from what happened going to school. And the thing about going to residential school, it was very easy for me to transition into the military because I was already used to being raised in a residential school in a regimental way. So I experienced a lot of success there because I felt that I was way ahead of the other people.
What kind of success did you have?
I'm a second lieutenant in the Army, and it came by way of already being going to school for surveying and engineering. I built most of the roads in southern Alberta. Not only as a surveyor, but also as a project manager. So it was all of these roads I built around this reserve.
Did you experience any form of discrimination when you went into the army as somebody who came from a residential?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of the guys didn't want to salute me, and I have no problem with that, eh? But the people that are officers with me were really offended because if they were disrespecting me, they're disrespecting them. So it was my officers that made me very mean to other people too, eh? Making them do push-ups and kick dirt in their face, eh? And that's kind of the mentality of being in the army, is you can't question directives, eh? You don't have room to think on your own. You're taught there to just follow the regimental philosophy. The army, I went back to this having long hair. What I knew as a little boy and what they made me cut off when I went to residential school, I got my earrings that I had before I went in. So my life took a change for the better. After I got out, started going back to my roots. I have piercings on my body. It's my sacrifice to the Creator. I've been the leader of the straight up pit fest of the Sundance, and I still presently own a beaver bundle in my lodge, in my home. So all of that has been very accomplished in our way of life because I was raised up to respect and believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we come on around in the arena, as we honor Mr. Jeffrey Deerta, from his earliest memories, Jeff remembers the closeness of his family. Jeff's father, uncle, grandfather, great-uncle, who were all part of the ceremonial, shared with him the stories of origin and meaning.
Creation story lives within the beaver bundle that we own. It talks about there was a big flood, and the animals were on Turtle's back, okay? From there, the beaver and the otter went down to the bottom, and they, in their hands, they brought clay back on Turtle's back, okay? So he eats water birds. That's why we have the loom in our bundle. It went down and got the seeds. And he put it on the clay that the otter and the beaver put, and then we start to have vegetation. The 4 major plants, the 4 medicines: sage, sweetgrass, cedar, and tobacco. From those plants, all of the other plants started to flourish from there. And once the animals found this new food, this new resource, negative thought came into play. So they started to fight over that resource, eh? They started to stockpile, eh? That negative thought created a barrier between the animals. So Creator got 2 buffalo bones and he tied it together with sinew, and he got clay and he poured buffalo blood and he lifted him up, and he wasn't breathing. So what he did was the Creator 4 times breathed into first man. So what that tells me is that all of us were created because we were all given first breath by the Creator. So in essence, we're the essence of our Creator. So he took one of our bones and another buffalo bone and tied it together, same process, clay, buffalo blood, and create a partner, a female, to help us and balance us out there. And we're the caregivers of the animals. That's why the other animals, they're either respect or scared of our power, what the Creator gave us. Eh? So when you look at animals, you know, they really rely on, some of us have dogs, cats, we have horses, we used to have cows. You know, these animals, they count on us, eh? And you know, when I had a sad situation, the stallion came up to me and he let me touch him. He doesn't let me touch him, but he understood my feelings that day, and he gave me a chance to feel better, eh? Because he felt what I was feeling, eh? And you know, so that's what we do. Is we have a connection with the animals that also create balance for us. But we are and have to learn from the animals. So the animals are our greatest teacher.
But what gives him the most joy are the outfits that he has made for his children, his grandchildren, and seeing them in the arena. The ceremonial Prairie Chicken Society and the ways of origin and meaning as of today, 60 years later, he chooses not to dance a contemporary way as he continues to honor the origin of the dance. And he wants to encourage people to have hope, love, and forgiveness.
So what you're going to witness today is the Prairie Chicken Dance. The Prairie Chicken Dance is an observation of what the prairie chicken gives to us. Early one morning, this guy was out hunting. He comes over this ridge and he sees all the prairie chickens dancing in a circle, the female. And the male prairie chickens are dancing in there, flaunting their feathers to the female. But just before they did that, the holy woman says, we had a difficult year, something like what we just had. You know, the COVID, eh? There was a lot of death, there's a lot of sickness. In some cases, there was starvation in some places. So the holy woman says, let's come forward. Pull the cry, go out to the camp, tell everybody to come forward. It's a good way to end the sundown. One guy came forward and was dancing, swiping his arm forward. Called that the bear dance. Gaiwas. Second guy had his hands pinched and was swaying, and he called that the deer dance. But the third guy was vaunting and gyrating his body, and those women were holding their mouth. They're embarrassed how this young man was dancing. So one of the young men, older seniority women was chasing this young man out. And the holy woman lifted up her hand and said, Kika, wait, young man, why did you bring that dance into this law? And the young man told his story. I was out hunting early in the morning. Then I come over this ridge and I saw all the female prayer chickens dancing in a circle one spot. And the males were in the middle, flaunting and gyrating their feathers, eh? And pretty soon they're pairing off and going to procreate. So the young man, Nate, says, nature is our greatest teacher. He says, in all of our losses, our difficulty, our sadness, what better way is to celebrate with our children, with life, eh? So when we have Christmas, Easter, holiday, we bring family together, everybody wants to hold and cuddle the babies because we know that's our future. So what this dance represents, the prairie chicken dance, is the celebration of life.